guys, I am Juliana. I've had requests to do this video for honestly like years now, and I've just never really gotten around to it. As you can see by the title, it is quote unquote my story. For those of you who don't know me, I am a huge pediatric cancer advocate, and the reason why I am so passionate about it is because I had cancer and I was diagnosed when I was 7, and I was diagnosed with ALL leukemia, and that went until I was 10, and at 10 years old I was pronounced in remission, and I got relapsed when I was 16 years old with ALL leukemia again. One day in particular, I had a very bad migraine, and when I woke up I had really bad double vision. So I kept bugging my parents for the longest time, take me to an eye doctor, take me to an eye doctor, you know, because anyone would think that this is just a phase and it's gonna go away, but it was not going away. So they took me to an eye doctor, and she saw that something was wrong, to where I needed to go to an ophthalmologist just because it was more serious than glasses. She didn't really explain what it was, so I still was not that worried. I just wanted to get rid of this double vision that I had. So we made an appointment with the ophthalmologist, drove to Tampa, and she was basically just saying, hey, you know, a lot of people your age go through this. It's nothing permanent. Through the next few weeks, we'll, you know, just examine you and see what the problem is. So again, I was just like, okay, that's cool. So I was doing all these different eye tests and seeing, you know, what color do I see here? Do I see the word this, or do I see the word this? Do I see the letter this, or do I see the letter this? And finally she said, you know what, maybe we should perform a spinal tab and see if that relieves some of the pressure from your brain and see if that helps a little bit. So I was like, okay, cool. Again, I had cancer when I was 7, so it was nothing new to me. I was just kind of used to all of this. So I was like, okay, yeah, you know, that's fine. Granted, I had a huge 16th birthday party coming up, and all of this was going on like the week prior to my 16th birthday party. So I was like, listen, this needs to be solved with by the time my party comes up, because I can't do this. So everything was kind of rushed. So I had my spinal tab, and that night they got the results of my spinal tab, and my ophthalmologist, she called my mom and she said for me to be rushed to the hospital. So they were doing all of these different tests on me, making me spit into cups, making me pee, you know, just a lot of yucky tests. The morning of my 16th birthday, I asked, I was like, so am I getting discharged today? What's going on? And they were like, they pretty much sat me down, and it was the same doctor that I had when I was ending my chemo here in Florida. And he just sat me down and he was like, Juliana, I'm sorry, but you know, after doing these sorry, oh my god. Oh my god. So he pretty much said, you know, you have been relapsed with leukemia and we need to start treatment, you know, right away. This time around, they basically told me, you know, hey, we need to do a much more aggressive route going forward, and it's gonna be 10 times worse than when you were a kid, and you know, we just want to let you know that that's what's gonna happen. And I was still like, okay, you know, whatever, it's, you know, it's fine. And I asked them, I was like, am I gonna lose my hair? And they said, yes, you are gonna lose your hair. And I'm like, well, I didn't lose my hair as a kid. So I still wasn't very convinced that it was gonna be as bad as I thought it would be. But it was as bad as I thought it would be. They started out with several mild chemos, and I had my mom post a status on my Facebook, and she basically said, you know, to all of Juliana's friends that were attending her party or going to attend her party, it has been canceled. She is in the hospital dealing with an illness. You know, more information later. So yeah, so they pretty much, you know, they started surgery. They inserted my port, which I have a scar here. It's from my port. And then they started treatment. I remember just being in a lot of pain through those nights. There was one night that I didn't get any sleep. I had excruciating pain in my back from all of the lumbar punctures that I had to do. So, and there was no doctor on call, so the nurses were not authorized to give me any kind of pain medication. But my cousin, he was a pharmacist at this time, so he was texting my dad, and he was saying, you know, tell the nurses to give her this, and tell the nurses to give her this, and this kind of medication, and this medication. These nurses, they don't know if my dad is a doctor or, you know, has this kind of experience, and they were just taking his advice, and they were just like, okay, well, you know, we'll give her that then, you know. So it just kind of sketched him out a little. He basically was just like, you know, we have to leave. So I then got transferred to another hospital. So I got there, and I remember my Dr. Kelly, she just looked at me and she was like, you are a mess. And I was like, yup. I was so constipated. I know it's a lot of information. I was so constipated that my belly was like, I looked like I was 4 months to 5 months pregnant because of all of the medications that this previous hospital was giving me. It constipated me. They were not giving me any kind of laxative or, you know, just to balance that out. So they ended up having to do a drip. Everything was taken care of after that, and, you know, I enjoyed my time at this hospital. Chemotherapy is a bitch, and I hate it so much, but I had more of a pleasant experience at this hospital than the hospital that I originally got diagnosed in. And I remember this one chemo that was so, it was just a pain, and the side effects that it caused was that every open hole in your body would get infected. And so it was not only me that had these side effects, it was, you know, a bunch of other patients, but mine was the most severe situation. So, you know, I had infections in my eyes and my ears and my nose and my mouth, in my privates. If I were to cut myself shaving, I had an infection from that. But the worst was my mouth. It was filled with cold sores. So I could not eat, I could not speak, I could not drink. I couldn't brush my teeth. It was hard and it was painful. And I remember my PA, Isaac, he is an angel in my life. So I remember him coming into my hospital room one day, and I had gotten out of the bathroom, and I just looked at him, and I went up to him right away, and I just started like, ah! I just cried on his shoulder, and because of how much pain I was in. So I went up to him and I just started bawling in his shoulders and in his arms, and I was just like, Isaac, I can't have this. I cannot have this medication anymore. And that's when my dad was like, look, she cannot have this chemotherapy anymore. So they kind of vouched for me to skip that. So after running tests on me again, they actually found that I was allergic to this chemo. That's why it affected me so bad. So I'm glad that my dad and my mom fought for me not to do this anymore. It was awesome. And so at 18, I was pronounced on remission again. Like, I'm a survivor, man. Like, I don't think there's anything better than to be a survivor of whatever situation. The reason why I am bald now is because about a year ago, I started experiencing bald patches just all over my head. It started at the back, and then it got one here, and it got one here, and started freaking out at first. And I called my doctor, and I called my PA that treated me, and I was like, listen, I need to come in ASAP. I'm having these patches, these bald patches around my head. I don't know what's going on. And my PA was the first to be like, look, I know it sucks, but this looks like alopecia areata. I know a lot of people have grown back their hair from dealing with alopecia, which is what I'm kind of waiting for. If it's God's plan to have me be bald, then that's God's plan, and that's what's going to happen for me. And you know, there's always wigs, and there's always, you know, different kinds of things to make you feel beautiful, but at the same time, like, you should just feel beautiful regardless, because we're all God's creatures. We're all beautiful in our own way, and that's what I've come to realize. I've had a lot of talks with my boyfriend about it, and I'm like, look, I might stay like this forever, dude. And if you want to back out, you can back out. It's up to you. And he's just like, look, like, I love you. I didn't fall in love with you because of your hair. I didn't make the decision to be with you because of your hair. I made the decision to be with you because of you. And that spoke, when he said that just took a whole toll on me, because I was so insecure about myself. You know, whether it be my weight or my looks, or especially in high school, I was like, look, why aren't I popular like the popular girls? Or, you know, why can't I be in the cheerleading team? Or why aren't I dating the hottest guy in school? You know what I mean? So, for him to say that to me, and just to reassure me that, you know, it's okay to not have hair or to not have eyebrows, to be beautiful, really spoke to me and made a huge impact on me. Experiences that I've gone through in my life have just shaped me as a person. So, that is my story, and I am very relieved that I shared this. I didn't think I would cry, but yeah, I hope that you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.